Collective. Let's get into a reading. We're going to do new love, new suitor, new love, new suitor. Let's see what's coming in for you. The timing is not right, but this is going to be a relationship that moves to a union. Could be marriage if that's something that you're wanting. Somebody could be releasing something in their life. Okay, so for some of you, the person that's about to be approaching you is actually getting out of something. Placing a boundary with something or someone. So they could be releasing something in their life. So here's an example. It doesn't have to be a lover that they're releasing. It doesn't have to be a job. This could be something as simple as, I live in this state, and the reason that I've lived in this state is because I've been very content. I love all the places that I go to. Or maybe all the places that they usually go to have closed up. Maybe there is them feeling fed up with where they're living, so they're being a little more willing to make changes that they once were not willing to make. So someone here is willing to make some sort of change. They're willing to set boundaries where maybe before it was like, I'm not too worried about it. This is really annoying, but I'm not going to set a boundary. Someone here is in the current moment, they're setting boundaries in their life where it is necessary so they can be brought to you. Okay. Now, again, that could be a relationship. That could be a state that they're about to move out of. That could be a job that's going to have them come into your job and apply. It could be something like that. Whatever it is that they're walking away from, though, they learned a hard lesson in it. So if it's a relationship, it probably wasn't the healthiest, and they were more than likely the overgiver in that relationship. If it was a job, they could have felt that they were really giving everything to that job and it took everything from them. Maybe they weren't getting good benefits. The hours were trash. The pay was trash. It was hard on their body. Okay. Let's see. So what's happening in this person's life right this moment? I can see clearly now the rain is gone, is what I started hearing. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I don't get this. Who is this or what is this? Who is this or what is this? Because there's an energy here of something being unknown, but it being known now. And what was figured out, and it could have taken a few months, a few seasons, a few years for this person to see it clearly. But someone finally recognized where they were maybe once not truthful and honest. It was like, okay, buckle up. Here's the honesty. You're never going to go far in this job. Nothing's ever going to change. You come in every day, you fussing about what you don't got, you don't like the pay, you don't like the hours, everything you don't like, guess what? It ain't going to change. That could have been an energy here. If it was a marriage or a relationship, it could have gotten to a point in this person's life where they could no longer ignore the fact that maybe things that were unknown come very clear. Maybe they got to a point where they started digging. Maybe it got to a point where it was like, okay, I didn't want truth. I didn't want clarity, because once I got truth, I got clarity. I had to make a choice. And the choice is that this no longer aligns with me. The choice is that maybe I married too young and I'm realizing that we don't work well with one another. Actually, let's back it up. I can't stand you. It could be something as simple as that. We're not here to judge on what they're getting their life out of or what they're getting their self out of. It could be an energy here again where maybe they were not being honest with themselves around the job that they had, the state that they lived in. What they could not see, they now see clearly. And it could have taken, again, some time for them to finally see that either something was toxic, the devil, something could have wanted more from them than what they were willing to give. The Five of Pentacles and the devil gives me an energy of like being in a toxic marriage, being in a loveless marriage. It gives me an energy of being in a job where they expect you to go above and beyond, but they don't pay you to go above and beyond. Here's an example. I used to work a long time ago, as a manager at a pizza place. And when I did that, one of the roles in my job was, if the alarm went off, guess who had to get out of bed? Me. They didn't pay me to do that. My measly $8 an hour, $7.50 an hour, and I didn't get paid to do that either. But that was part of the job, okay? Sometimes jobs will do that. Sometimes jobs will tell you all of these restrictions. Well, you have to do this. You got to be on call all the time. You can't go on vacations. You can't do this. You can't do that. We know we don't pay you to live a good life, but do as we say because you work for us. And if that's the case, this person could have seen, okay, first off, I'm barely making ends meet. I don't know why I've been holding on to this job. Maybe it's because I was comfortable. I'm hearing that song, Not My Problem. That's just not my problem. This person could have gotten to a point where it was like, you know what? I've been trying to fix it for so long. I've been trying to stay in this state for so long. I've been trying to stay in this job for so long. I've been trying to stay in this relationship and marriage for so long. And guess what? It's not my problem. It's not my problem. It's not my problem anymore. And maybe where I've been trying to protect you, I'm tired of protecting you because I'm realizing I'm enabling you. And that could be something that's happening here. Whether it's a relationship that they're seeing as toxic and it's just like, you don't want to fix it and I'm done trying to fix it. That could be what happened here. This could be, again, a job where they started realizing that it was very toxic, that it was big on promises, but maybe every time they turn around and they went in for a promotion, it was always a fifth of what it should have been. Maybe every single time they were promised something, it got taken back. The devil could also be an energy of like, we put you on a pedestal to tear you down kind of thing. I've worked in a lot of different places, and some companies will promote you or like give you recognition because the next year and the year after they might not, and they want you to chase after that fulfillment. They want you to chase after that validation of being employee of the month, being the manager of the year, getting some sort of reward and recognition. And if you are a type A personality, if you are a people pleaser, if you are one of those people who want to go above and beyond and you find value in what people think of you, you will achieve those awards and those successes. But what fulfillment does that bring to you? Okay? Because I have bucketfuls. When I tell you I probably have 250 awards that my dad got when he was alive, I'm not joking. I have so many, it's not even funny. And guess where he did not take them? He did not take them with him when he left. Those are only temporary recognitions, okay? And someone here could have recognized that temporary recognitions is not working anymore. Whether that is awards or getting fulfilled one night out of the year in their relationship, in their marriage. Somebody could have even pulled the, I'm too old to get out of this. Whether it is a job. Somebody could have pulled the, I'm too old to do this. Now, I know people in their 30s that pull that. I'm too old for, and I'm one of them sometimes. That's what I'm saying here. Somebody could have pulled that, I'm too old to get divorced. I'm too old to start over. I'm too old to, and that's what I'm getting. So someone here could be shifting their life in a way that they never thought that they would have. They're accepting their reality. They're surrendering. They're letting go. They're seeing where maybe there's been interferences, issues, things intruding on the kind of life that they want. And they're making the choices to set firm boundaries and go after what they want. Now, here's the thing. Your boundaries are non-negotiables. If you are negotiating your boundaries, you're not using boundaries in the proper way. If you tell someone, hey, this is my boundary. My boundary is that we've got to fix this relationship because I can't keep going on like this. We've been disconnected for 5 years, and I know that we go down in these little dips here and there, but come on, you got to help me out. They could have felt like, okay, I've set my boundary. I told you time and time again that we have to fix this or I'm out because I'm not staying here for the next 20, 30, 40 years doing this, but we're roommates. No, we're not. No, we're not. And maybe for so long, the reason they stayed in it is because, well, I'm too old to get divorced. I'm too old to start over career-wise. I'm too old to whatever. I've just heard as well, I'm too old to be acting like that. So this person could have put a lot of shame on them. They could have been their worst enemy. Why would you give up? Why would you get out of it? Why would you set a boundary? That's not nice. You're not being nice. You're not being fair. So maybe this person is big on like being kind, so much so that it could take away from their fulfillment and their happiness because they don't want to abandon or jump ship or like leave anything behind when it's in a hardship, when it's in a problem. But again, with the boundary here, it could have been an energy of, but I'm seeing clearly that you don't respect me. This ain't going to change. There's nothing here that's going to make me feel better. So my boundary is that I'm leaving. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm drawing my line in the sand. Now, if you compromise your boundaries, they're not a boundary. And 9 times out of 10, when people get mad at you for your boundary, it's because they were benefiting. So I feel like this person got fed up. Now, what does this have to do with you? The Magician on the bottom, this could be somebody you were manifesting. This person could be watching you, spying on you, or gathering information around you with other intentions. Okay, so this is either someone you already know. This could have been someone you had a summertime fling with. This could have been someone you, I don't know, fill in the blank. This could be someone you already know, where maybe they look you up on Facebook. Are you in a relationship yet? Because me and so-and-so is breaking up and I want to know if you're single. Because I have thought about you a few times. That could be something that took place, okay? Or this could be someone new going through a change in their life. And they could have conversations with you strategically to gain information that they want strategically. So let's say that this is like a coworker, an acquaintance, friend of a friend. And you know them as someone who's in a relationship, someone who's married, someone who lives out of state. You know them in a certain way. Maybe you know them as the friend who always works and doesn't have time for a relationship. Well, what you don't know is that they're going through a change and you don't see it. And maybe when you're at that party, you're talking to that friend of a friend. Or maybe when you're at work and you're talking to that coworker. They're going to be asking you questions or having conversations with you that's not going to make you suspicious. They might ask you, where do you want a vacation at one day? What do you see in your future when it comes to fulfillment? What makes you happy? And it might be in a way where you're like, you good today? Yeah, I'm fine. I don't think something in your brain is going to go, oh my God, you're in love with me. Oh my God, you want to build with me. I don't feel that. I feel that it's going to be an energy of them having conversations with you from a place of wanting to gain information, and it's going to be strategic. It's not going to be overly demanding or forward. It's going to be inquisitive. And it's for them to seek some sort of truth. This person is doing that because they want some sense of success and victory, or they want to be recognized by you. So if this is someone you already know, they could be gaining the information they need to come in correctly so they can have success and victory with you. Let's be honest. If we could have a playbook of someone we really like and all the things that they loved in that, would we not want to look at that first? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you are able to know all the things about someone you might want to date or that you like, all their favorite little things, I would say that that's a sure-in way to win them the hell over. So this could, again, be someone where there's a collaboration, someone that you already know of, who lives maybe out of state. They're looking you up. They're seeing what you're into. What does your favorite thing say on that dating app? Because maybe they found you on it. What does your favorite things say on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram? What are the things that you pin? Is it big on traveling? Is it big on maybe drinks, cocktail, partying? What makes your heart flutter? And this person, although they're going through a season of placing boundaries, making choices, doing the hard thing, changing life, really accepting what is, accepting the fact that they can't change anything, they can't make that job give them what they want, they can't make that lover want to fix it or be a little more compatible. They've accepted that it's time to let it go, and it is what it is. Now, as they're doing that, though, they're along the lines of like chatting with you. You don't know what's going on. You're just like, la, 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 la. Yeah, what's up? No, I think I'm going to go out to the party tonight. What y'all doing? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll probably go out to the club. That's what I'm saying here. Now, if this is someone you already knew, again, this could be someone looking you up online, gathering the information. They could pull the, hey, I'm in town message of truth. we should go out for drinks. And when they do that, you're going to be along the lines of, oh shit, what's happening? Is this a date? I'm confused. So you as a man or a woman might get confused. You might be unsure. Did they reach out because they want to date? Did they reach out because they just want to link up? Did they reach out because they want a booty? Why did they reach out? You might have questions in your mind whenever this person finally approaches you, okay? Whether it is that friend of a friend that lives out of town, that person that you couldn't date because there was something in the way, but they wouldn't decide to get rid of it. Again, new suitor though, so this isn't someone where you have history. This is someone that you're like, oh, I know them, or oh, that person is new, but I don't know what's been going on in their life. That's what this energy is. Now, when they ask you out or come forth and give you the communication that they want to link up, they want to meet up, you're going to be unsure what the intentions of the link up or meet up is. Okay? And then I see you getting clarity. I see you being unsure. I see you being like, okay, wait, is this love? Is this a new beginning? Are they going to want me to run their company? What's happening here? Are we going to be business partners, lovers, friends? Lovers and friends? What are we going to be? I'm confused. What's happening? That could be your energy when this starts taking place. So why is this person not going to tell you what the hell's going on? Because they're in the process of making the final decisions and moving completely forward. So this is someone who's like, I'm not coming and telling you I'm getting divorced. I'm coming and telling you I'm divorced. I'm not coming in and telling you, hey, I'm moving. I'm coming in and telling you, hey, I moved. I'm not coming in and telling you, hey, I decided I want to leave this job. Yeah, give me 4 weeks and I'll probably be gone. I'm coming in and saying, hey, that job that kept getting in the way of me and you being able to be together because I was always out of town for 2, 3, 4 weeks. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I don't work there anymore. I got a new job. I'm at home. So that could be this person's energy, okay? This person is not going to come in and tell you things when the final decisions are not made, period. This person could be feeling really burdened around this relationship as well. So again, this could be something casual. This could just be someone you know. This could be someone that you already know, but maybe they're feeling burdened because maybe they really like you. Again, maybe they chose to go to college or pick a career or pick something that keeps them out of town and they're like, shit, I kind of wish I wouldn't have done that because I really want to get to know so-and-so. Ugh. Okay. So what do you need to know? What you need to know is that whatever they're leaving behind, they're also leaving a version of them behind. So I'm going to be blunt with you. If they were in a marriage, they could have definitely been matching his or her toxicity. Sometimes when you're around people who are really toxic, you don't realize that you're mirroring them or you're acting just like them until you're out of it, And it takes a very strong, self-aware person to go, wait, this relationship's toxic and I'm toxic too. I'm acting toxic. They could have recognized that them delaying a choice was making them toxic because they needed to be out of it. So that could have been the lesson here, is that they were matching whatever they're having to set a boundary with. They were matching it wholeheartedly. And that was something that needed to grow within them. And there's also something here about them maybe needing to get a little more confident and abundant when it comes to making choices and making them from a wise place. Your intuition's telling you, though, that something could have happened that led them to their higher self. So there's a part of you where it's like if they were married, if they were in a relationship, if they did end up moving and they're moving back, or they did end up committing to a toxic job and you knew, okay, you're not going to like being out of town 4 weeks out of every 4.5 weeks, but I can't tell you what to do. You knew deep down that this is something they needed to do for them to understand themselves, okay? And your intuition's telling you, don't hold that against them. Don't hold it against them that they needed to learn. They needed to get the truth and the clarity. For some of you, I don't like to say this, but I'm gonna say this. For some of you, this could have been someone who made advancements towards you, or someone who's been your friend while they were in a relationship. They could have wanted more, but you could have given them a message of truth or a message of bad news. And it could burden them because they could feel that this is something deep. But there's also an energy here of, rejection, being rejected. So if this is someone in a relationship or a commitment, I see you rejecting them. And I see you giving them a message of truth or a message of bad news. It could have been something that was shocking to them. It could have also been something that really kind of crumbled their foundation. Because if you reject someone, especially with this energy, I'm getting an energy here of message of truth, message of bad news. Hey, here's a boundary. It could have been a little along the lines of, well, shit. Here's an example. I was watching a thing the other day, and this girl was pretty much saying that she cheated on her husband and then divorced him for a married man, but the married man wouldn't leave his wife. And she kind of beat around the bush until she finally said it. And in that dialogue, she said, well, I just thought that everyone's marriage was like ours. And the guy looked at her and said, what the hell does that mean? And she said, well, you know, the kind of marriage that you have when you're married, but you're not happy, so you just find happiness elsewhere. Sometimes people can assume that everyone else's morals and values are the same. Some people are all for sharing someone else's husband or wife. Some people are like, ooh, stay the fuck away from me. You're like the plague. I feel like if that's the case, if that's your story, you could have rejected this person, and it could have been a little bit of like, oh shit, I'm acting in a way that a lot of other people don't act, do they? And it could have been a little bit of like, whoa, okay. That could be for some of you. Now, for some of you, in the past, if this is someone that maybe lives in different states, or maybe they weren't willing to let go of a job that was interfering in your guys' relationship, I see that you've seen it clearly, and that you started leaning more towards the unknown. You were like, you know what, I'm going to go towards a new beginning, Danielle, because right now I know what I've got, and what I've got is someone who I'm always going to feel alone with, who I'm never going to feel valued by. So I'm going to lean into the new beginning, whether that means with this person or without. That could have been you. Now, I'm not saying that it got really deep, okay? I'm saying with the devil, there could have been maybe a lot of lust, a lot of passion, a lot of chemistry, maybe a sense of codependency on what you expected them to give you. And that could have been matched with a sense of feeling defeated because they didn't do that. Now, if that's the case, some of you, after setting a boundary and releasing this person, you could have given them a message of truth or a message of bad news, and there could have been a lesson learned in that cycle. Now, what could be happening is that this person could be feeling burdened because they see you as a soulmate or a twin flame. But when they come back to you, again, you might be along the lines of, I don't know what they want, Danielle. I've had to set a boundary. Again, maybe there's just someone who wanted to date you but didn't live here, and then they told you, well, I don't do long distance. Then how the you gonna date me? That could have been the energy here. And you could have seen clear as day, well, I mean, why would I date someone who doesn't date long distance, but you just told me you wanted to date? I can see clear as day this ain't gonna work for me. So you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and nip it in the bud. We ain't even doing this. That could still make them a new suitor. You might be like, oh, I know their face, I know their name. Well, they won't. And you might even be along the lines of, is this love or is this lust? What you here for? Are you here for a good time or a long time? You're going to be unsure. Now, they're telling me that if that is your story, that this could end up moving to something more, but not right this moment. Yeah, so they're telling me you're going to have success and victory here. And there will be something fulfilling being brought forth. So there could be a few different scenarios. For some of you, this could be someone who approached you a little too fucking prematurely. For some of you, this could be someone who you weren't willing to build with because there was too much that was unknown. Or they were too secretive. Or maybe they were, you know what this reminds me of as well? This reminds me of the people that you go out with and they let their passion and their lust drive them. And it's like the whole first date, the whole second date, all they're talking about is sex and fucking and how hot you are and all these things. And it's like, okay. Like, that's the energy I'm getting as well. So for some of you, you could have felt that with this person. If this is a new person where it's like, yeah, Danielle, the devil though, I don't know. They didn't even ask me what was something I like to do. They were just kind of big on seducing me, having me. And that wasn't fulfilling. That could be how you were feeling. Whatever it is though, whatever the scenario is, this person's changed their perspective. So if this is someone you had to call out for them to recognize that they were acting as a karmic, they weren't acting no better than the person that they were with, they're changing their behavior because I feel like they could have felt like, okay, I'm not proud of myself. I'm not proud that I did this. That's kind of what I'm getting. If this is someone you've done chatted with, you had to set a boundary and you were like, I'm going to set you free because you were not meant for me. You could have felt that there was something getting in the way. And instead of playing Inspector Gadget, instead of playing detective, you were like, I ain't doing it. I am seeing a rejection here though. So someone got rejected. You either rejected them in some sense, form, or fashion, or they are in the process of rejecting someone who puts them in a karmic energy, who doesn't make them better. So karmic energies, there's a lot of fighting. There could be tearing each other down. There could be an energy of like not seeing someone as a human, but seeing them as a villain, seeing them as someone that you want them to pay. That could be in a karmic energy because you learned a very hard lesson with this person. So your vision towards them doesn't really have a lot of love or empathy. And that's fine. That's great. That's grand. I am saying that here though. So let's say that this is a complete new person. I'm saying that they could be rejecting someone and your intuition could tell you that something's happening. I feel like, have you ever worked with someone and they used to light up the room and then they start coming in and they're quiet and they're distant and maybe they used to get their lunches packed, now they're not getting them packed anymore. Maybe they used to wear a ring, now they're not wearing a ring anymore. Maybe they used to have conversations about their husband, their wife, now they don't bring them up anymore. And it's like, you don't got to tell us something's happening at home. You don't got to tell us there's trouble in paradise. We know there's trouble in paradise. Your body language will say it all. If every single time you bring up their husband, their wife, and they tense the fuck up, I can guarantee you something's happening at home or there's trouble in paradise. And it's like, oh, don't want to talk about it. You're going to ruin the mood. There could be something like that happening as well. If they are getting out of a relationship, getting out of a marriage, or let's say that they are moving or something's crumbling in their life. It could be an energy of every time you bring it up or someone brings it up, they could kind of tense up because they're in the process of learning a very harsh lesson, getting a message of truth, message of bad news. And again, the message of truth, message of bad news could be you're no better than that job that you won't leave. You're no better than the lover that you keep calling a karmic, yet you stay with them. They're not too much of a karmic if you're staying with them because you're matching that energy. If someone is a true karmic to you and you are able to see it, you are going to completely close off that cycle and say, oh, enough is enough, I've learned the lesson. So if you are dealing with a karmic, it's because you're still a karmic. And that could have been the message of truth, message of bad news, is maybe this person wanted to lie to themselves and say, but I'm the victim. I have to live in this state. I have to work at this job. I have to be able to go out of town for 4 weeks and only come home for half of the week. And you could have been giving them other solutions or other mindsets, but maybe they didn't want to take it because they were in that karmic energy. Your intuition could be telling you though, there's trouble in paradise. There's trouble in paradise. You've been in town a lot more than you usually are. Are you moving back? They might not say anything. They're moving back. That's the energy I'm getting here. And if that's the case, let's say it's like someone you used to hang out with and they moved out of town and now they're moving back. They could feel burdened Because they could be like, and I'd like to get to know you, but this is just really awkward. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting. Maybe this is someone who wants to date you, but they feel like it's awkward because you're a coworker, because they've gotten to know you on a deeper level, and it's like, oh my God, are we going to make it weird if we take it to the next level? That could be for some of you as well. For some of you, this could be a friend turning into more, is what I just heard. Okay, I love that for you. But again, you could be juggling. There's going to be a part of you kind of scared. But are you going to pick up and leave again? Are you just kind of in it for a good time, not a long time? Are you a person of your word? If this is someone, again, who in the past picked something over you, you're going to be a little along the lines of, and how do I think you're not going to do it again? If this is someone where maybe they approached you prematurely and you had to reject them, there's going to be a part of you saying, but can I trust them with my heart? Because if they'll do it to them, they'll do it to me. Right, Danielle? That's the energy I'm getting. And that could be a message of truth you need to give to them. Be honest with them. Hey, this is what I feel. If you do it to them, you'll do it to me. So how do I know that ain't truth? Have that conversation. And maybe they'll tell you, yes, I was sneaky. I was maybe talking to you in ways I shouldn't have. That's what I'm saying. So, but that's going to be for a very, very, very small select few of you. Again, this could be someone who you used to be friends with, who wanted something more. But again, there could have been a message of truth or a message of bad news around a karmic situation that completely shattered their life, crumbled their life, made them reevaluate their life. And then they could have felt burdened by you because they felt that you were a soulmate. But again, if there was a karmic aspect in their life, whether it was a job, who was like, yeah, we know that you get off every other weekend. You don't get weekends no more. Actually, you're on call all the time now. Okay, thanks. And it could have been like, whoop, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? And this person could have really needed to reevaluate their life. That could be for some of you. And this person could tell you that they were scared. That's the reason that they kind of stayed in a situation that they knew they needed to get out of, but that they also procrastinated from. Because let's be honest, it's really hard to quit a job. It's really hard to start over. It's really hard to pick up everything that you have and that you love in another state and move states or countries. It's not easy, okay? So, yeah, that's what I'm saying here. I'm going to leave this here. Have a blessed day.